Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first talk of the first day of talks at Unite Austin.
Yeah, thanks for being here. There are a lot of great talks on, so we appreciate you being so interested in learning about Unity teams. So my name is Brendan. I'm a software engineer working in cloud services on the Collaborate service.
And my name is Rohit. I am also a software engineer working on Collaborate service. And recently I've been focusing more on the editor itself. And today we'll be talking about Unity Teams. We're going to tell you what it is and how it can help you create together faster.
Right. Unity Teams, as the name suggests, is all about teamwork and collaboration. And it really aims at kind of optimizing how different groups of people can work together better.
Right, so games these days are made by teams of creators, which might include artists, scriptwriters, producers, directors, and all of these people kind of have the same problems that source control addresses, but they might not all have the technical background that's required to use traditional source control.
Right, and so to examine these differences between tools, we're going to do a little bit of role-playing, and we're going to explore how Git and Unity Teams can affect your workflow in different ways.
Okay, so we're going to jump right into talking about our game dev. And we're working on a game that we believe is going to have a lasting impact on the world. Isn't that right, Brendan?
That's right. I'm really excited about it. It's called Cat Grooming Simulator. It's, I think it's got a lot of potential to have a really big moral impact on the world. And I think it's a great candidate for VR integration, and we could even be pioneers in the world of tongue tracking technology.
Tongue tracking technology.
It's the future.
I'm not sure I want to know how that works, Brendan.
Yes, you do. Come on. So we're going to get started by using the Trash Dash asset on the Unity store. It's one of the free assets, and it's a great way to jump right into a fully functioning game to help kind of prototype a concept.
Right, and we're going to be using Git for the first part of this presentation. And just as a heads up, if you see my hands over here and I'm typing like 500 words per minute, it's not magic. It's just that we're using videos. And there's two reasons for that. One, we didn't want to rely on the Wi-Fi here. And two, because we wanted to cut out some of the tedious bits. And for example, we've cut out the part where we set up Git on a server and share credentials and push our first stuff into the repo. And so we're just all set up with Git, and we're ready to go.
All right. So on the project, Rohit's, I'm sort of the game developer, and Rohit's going to be helping me with some art. I mean, I have this really awesome programmer art already there, so I don't think I really need him, but you know.
Yeah, Brendan, this programmer art is what sells games.
Okay, quick show of hands. Who here has used Git before? Oh, a lot of people. Great. Rohit, I didn't see you raise your hand.
That's because I'm already in character, Brendan. I'm going to be playing as an artist who doesn't have a lot of experience with Git, and I don't want you to have high expectations.
All right. That's never a worry. Okay, let's get started. So, Rohit, this is our game so far. What do you think of it?
I think it looks pretty good. I think we're still using the old title, and I think that could use some updating.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think we could probably change that.
Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace the title with something that I've made earlier. And once I've done that, I am going to go ahead and push it up using Git. And so I'm going to go over to my command line, and it's time to type git push. And Brendan, this isn't working.
Right. Sorry. I forgot I pushed up a change.
Oh.
So you have to pull that down before you can do anything.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a git pull and get my change down. Let's see here. Okay. And I guess I have to merge this, okay. I'll just do that. I think it, okay.
Hey,
That's,
doesn't it look good? I changed the title. This is what we talked about.
but Brendan, I told you I was going to change the title.
I mean, I thought it looked good.
I disagree. I think I'm just going to go back and change this back.
Oh, if you're going to change something, if you're going to undo something, then it's It's really important to keep the Git history clean. I'm a bit of a purist. I feel like the Git history really spells out a narrative about how the game was born and its adolescence. And please try and keep the Git history clean when you undo something.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to do that. Just tell me how you can do that.
Oh, I just got paged. You're on your own, buddy.
Brendan, I don't know how to do this. Okay, it looks like Brendan's a little busy, so I'm just going to go and find out how to do this myself. So I'm going to go to my favorite search engine. And how do I undo a Git? Commit, merge. Let's go with merge. And it looks like we got some Stack Overflow. Let's go with the first link. Someone has some problem. I don't care about what the problem is. I just want the solution here. This guy's got 2,000 votes. Looks good. Let's see what this does. Huh? I think that's what I wanted, so I'm just going to push. Okay. This looks like I have to give pull and merge it. And let me just try this one too, the easy and safe way. Okay. All right. Okay, this is getting old, so I'm just going to push it anyway. All right. Okay, I'm all done. Looks good.
All right, production is safe. I saved the day. I'm the hero.
Nice.
Yeah. How are things going?
Doing well. I just pushed my chain. It's great.
All right, let's have a look. Where are your changes exactly?
I just pushed them.
I don't see them. I don't see my changes from before that either. What did you do?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. We need to be really careful with Git. Git is this amazing tool, and it can do wonderful things, and it can also do horrible, terrible things. And we need to really understand what we're doing when we use Git, because otherwise, you can erase history. So maybe we should take a break from our game development process, and really get to grips with the Git fundamentals. The 3 R's of Git. Revert, rebase, reset.
All right, Brandon, that's all really good advice, but I think we should use this tool I just found called Unity Collaborate. I think it makes it really simple to share code.
I mean, what's simpler than rewriting Git history?
That's a good point. It's pretty simple to rewrite history. I just use --force when I need to do that.
Okay, good point. You've got to be kidding, though.
Yeah, I would never do something like that. You're right.
Okay. All right, let's try it out.
Okay, let me just set this up, and I'll send you an invite.
So Rohit is setting up Collaborate for his project. He's establishing the project with Unity. It's creating a record. It's creating a shared project we can add me to via the dashboard. And once he does that, he can specify an access level for me. So you can have contributors, you can have viewers, you can have managers, and you can have owners.
All right, you should have access now, Brendan.
Fantastic.
And I'm just going to go ahead and push up all my changes, which just takes me 1 click.
Great. Here's the best part. You don't have to leave the editor to push up your changes. Like with Git or another tool, this would take a lot of time. You'd have to assemble all your changes and move outside the editor, break your flow. And with Unity Collaborate, you can just click to push all your files up. There's a lot of other work that goes into it as well. You'd have to set up a shared project, set up keys, access, all those other aspects, and that's all taken care of you with Unity Collaborate.
All right.
Oh, and I just got an email notifying me that I've been added to the project. Great.
Okay, so Brendan has his email, which means he now has access, and he's going to be able to go and open his Unity editor and see this project in the Cloud tab. And from there, he can just click on the project, and he's going to have an option of where he wants to store the project on his disk. And Collab is going to figure out all the stuff about the repository so that he doesn't have to actually set up anything externally. So everything's right here, and he doesn't need to say who he is and
great. We're ready to go in no time. I'll be able to make the world a better place by allowing people to groom cats on their phones. I'm really excited.
It looks like we're almost done here. So once this is done, he's going to be able to make changes, and Collab will recognize that he's made changes, and he'll just be able to push those up. So this is setting up his entire repository right now.
All right. Looks like I'm ready to go.
Yep.
Let's test it out.
Looks like it works. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Unity Collaborate also lets you understand what other people in your repository are doing before they publish something. So I can, for example, right here, I can see that Rohit has opened the start scene, and he's making some changes. He hasn't published those changes yet. They're just saved to his file system. So I know that I probably shouldn't touch that scene, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds like a really useful feature. It looks like I'll be able to avoid all your art attacks now.
It's almost as if you don't appreciate my fine artistic sensibilities.
Oh, that reminds me, I need to go back and fix that scene, which still has your amazing art.
Okay, so Rohit is adding his change, as you saw earlier. And once he's done with that, it's really simple to apply the change and share it. So he saves the file, the change symbol goes to blue, indicating there are changes, and he publishes that, which pushes up that single file. And it's done. And now I can access it. So I can see on the top right there's a change. I can go and pull down that change. I can see Rohit's change, or that Rohit made a change. I update, it pulls down the file, Unity reloads, and I'm ready to go. Great. I think we're looking pretty good. Why don't we try and build and test this?
Sounds good.
Okay. I'm going to try and build for Android. So let's see. Rohit.
What's up?
I don't have the Android module installed.
You still don't have it installed?
I still don't have it installed.
Okay, so
Could you build it for me?
you want me to build it for you again?
Yes.
Brendan, this is like the 80th time you're telling me to do this. And every single time I have to just stop what I'm doing. I have to go into my editor and build you a build. And it takes like 2 minutes for you to just go and download this module yourself so you can build it yourself. But instead of doing that, you just ask me to do it every single time. And it's not even like I own an Android device, so I have to send it to you, then you have to test it, and then you're like, this doesn't work, build me another one. And I have to build you another one. It's just such a waste of time. It's like you don't respect my time at all, man. And it's still building, so I still can't do anything.
Hey, Rohit, I have a great idea. I found out about this really cool thing, Cloud Build, all by myself. It looks like a really cool product we could use.
Okay, what is this cloud build?
It's a service from Unity that lets you build your project in the cloud.
Okay, how do I build my project in the cloud?
It integrates with a variety of source control repositories, including Collaborate. So as soon as we push a change, it'll pull down our changes, build our project for us, and we won't be blocked locally.
Oh, that sounds really good. Let's try it out.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so Brendan is now going through the steps of setting up Cloud Build, which is a lot like setting up Collaborate. It's a simple toggle in the editor in the services window. And once you toggle it, you get a few options and you configure what you want to build. And once you've answered some questions, filled out some forms, you will be ready to use Cloud Build. And what will happen is that it will trigger builds for you, and you'll be able to see what's been built and what's building right in the editor. And you will also get some buttons to manage those builds and trigger those builds manually.
Okay, looks like we're good to go. I can see my build. It's queued, should be running shortly. Looks great.
Nice. Will this build for Android so I don't have to?
Yeah, I think I can make that happen. You know, I'm pretty good with computers. You know. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try and get this working for Android. So I'm gonna add a new build target, which looks pretty similar to the WebGL setup. Just gotta put in a couple of specifications, Unity version, that kind of thing. And there's an extra form for Android-specific changes, so I can put in different credentials if I'm trying to publish to a store. And looks like it's saving.
Okay, what happens if our builds don't work?
I mean, that never happens.
Okay, in the hypothetical scenario, you know, if something fails.
Just because I have plenty of time to honor your silly hypothesis that builds will fail. In that case, Cloud Build tracks the state of a build, so it'll tell you when it's complete and whether it succeeded or failed. So it'll show us that, you know, this build worked, this one didn't, and we can check logs on a failed build to see why it failed.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Cool. So just in the hypothetical, just so we can see all of the successful builds we have, I'm going to configure notifications so we get notified in Slack when our build's complete.
You mean all successful and failed builds, right?
Oh, they're the same thing, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So Brendan is now going ahead and adding notifications for us. And he's currently configuring it with Slack, which means that whenever our builds succeed or fail, we'll get a Slack notification. And that's really great because now neither of us have to be in the editor or on the dev dashboard to see what's going on with our builds, and we'll just get notified when someone else is working on the project.
Great, and I can see that the notifications are coming in for queued and starting builds. That's great. I'm really excited, Rohit. You know why?
Why?
This means I don't have to bother you for new builds anymore.
Yeah, that's great. I think I'm more excited about that than you are.
Okay, this is looking good. I feel like I have a good sense of where our project is standing at any moment in time. I'm going to make a few more changes, and making those changes and pushing them up should trigger a new cloud build.
I think I'm going to make some changes too, but it looks like Brendan's got there before me, so I'm going to pull down what he's done. And it's good. Let me just try and play my game. All right, Brendan, what have you done?
Must not have been me. It must have been the other person working on the project.
That's me.
Okay, maybe it was me. Okay, looks like our build has failed. Sorry about that. Good news is I know exactly how to fix it.
Okay.
Bad news is I need to keep what I'm working on in place, so I need to keep that file in the current state in the repo.
Okay.
So would it be possible for you to find the older version of that file, add that to your project, and work with that?
I think I can do that using the dev dashboard.
Great. So Rohit's trying to download an older version of a specific file within the repo without affecting the commit history, and the Collaborate dashboard allows you to do that. So he's viewing the structure of his project on the dashboard, where he can browse specific files within his repo, and each file will give you an idea of exactly what changes have affected it. So in this case, there's the initial commit plus my breaking change. And Rohit has downloaded the older version of the file, which is going to work for him. And he just needs to add it into his project, and Unity will automatically detect the change, reload, and he should be unblocked unless I've done something else to...
Hold on, I still need to rename this thing. Give me a second. And I'm going to test this out, see what works. And yeah, it looks like I'm unblocked. So I'm going to go ahead and make the change that I want, which is I'm just going to change this thing that says store to salon.
All right, great. So Rohit is trying to push up only some of his changes. He doesn't want to override the file that I'm working on. So he can right-click on a single file, go to Collaborate, and publish only that file. You can add multiple things to this, but the important part is that once he's published that one change, you can still see other files that are unchanged, that are modified locally, and then the changes have not been pushed up to the source control.
All right, Brendan, I think that's all the art you paid for today.
Okay, I think we got a lot done. I think we groomed a lot of cats. I think we really kind of simplified our workflow. And I think this less context switching, less switching tools is going to help us really get to market faster.
Oh, that sounds good. It sounds like we'll have entire generations grooming cats in no time. And I hope you enjoyed our talk about Unity themes, and we'll be taking questions in a moment. But before that, I'd like to thank you all for coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you have any further questions about Unity Teams products, so Collaborate and Cloud Build, then please do stop by the booth in the expo hall. Members of our team and us will be there for the next 2 days.
And even if you don't have questions for us, we'd like you to stop by because we'd like to know how you work and who you work with so we can solve your problems better. So we look forward to seeing you at the booth.
All right, any questions?
Sorry. When we use GitHub, it seems like prefabs is kind of a no-no as far as trying to make changes to the same prefab. Is there any red flags with this system that we should be aware of?
Not that I'm aware of, other than being careful about merging, like we talked about. I don't think we have any trouble with prefabs. I think we treat them as we do any other asset.
Right, so basically a prefab is essentially a YAML file, right? And you have, scenes are also YAML files. And we have a tool called YAML merge, which is actually, you can use it even outside of Collab. And this tool is, I think we're pretty confident in it, and we are confident that we can resolve any merge conflicts you might have, or we can help you out with those. So there's no like categorical, you can't do this.
Just to make sure I understand, are you saying that if I make a change to a prefab, say this character's strength is now 10 instead of 5, and somebody else makes another change that his agility is 3, that I would not be able to just use this, I would have to use the tool that you just mentioned?
So if both of you change the same property, you will get a conflict, right? And right now we require you to use an external diff tool or external merge tool to resolve that conflict, but we are working on an in-editor solution for that.
But if they're different attributes, if it's agility and speed, and it's...
Oh, then it'll just auto-merge it.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Is there an upper limit on project size?
It's a great question.
So we are not currently imposing any limits, but we will be imposing them soon. So right now, if you want to try it out, you can try it out for free. But eventually, it will be, I think, $9 a month, basically. And for more details on the exact space that you have and what you can do, you can go to the website. Can you put up the slide?
Yeah, we go back here, unity3d.com/teams, and there's the complete details of like storage limits, pricing, seats, that kind of thing on there.
Just an observation. We actually, in 3 seconds, it's in my project. I thought that was really sweet.
Fantastic. Yeah, for anyone who didn't hear, he was explaining that he's experienced similar pains on his project with switching out of the editor, and that the helpfulness of being able to stay inside the editor to share changes is exactly what he experienced on his project. Okay, I think we're about out of time.
All right.
All right. And if anyone has any more questions or just wants to give us some feedback, please feel free to see us right here or come by the booth and chat there. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.